Welcome to another episode of Day.Sports. I'm here again for another week with my brother Tom. How are we going?
Good, mate. It was a good weekend. Good weekend to go watch some live footy. Good Broncos win. So, yeah, can't be better.
It was very good. Nice to get along to the first home game. I was pretty sad soul. What was it, Saturday? Saturday morning. Thank God for Panadol and Gatorades. That's all I can say. No, to be fair.
Got attacked by the black rat, by the Bundy rum.
Yeah, the Bundy rum, I think, came up and snuck up on me. But what really got me bouncing back the next day, my missus and I, we went to a cafe in the morning for a feed. Toasty, like a ham and cheese toasty. That did the job, but I got like a Biscoff milkshake. I swear the sugar just changed lives, but it was just good
enough
stuff.
Sugar to bring you back to life and then knock you back down mid-afternoon.
Exactly. But by then you're rolling into another little hair of the dog anyway, so it's really not too big of an issue. But no, it was good. We will get through those games. We've got plenty to go through today. We'll do a quick little recap of our bets, a recap of round 3, chat a little bit about all the news going around with rugby league, and of course give our tips and predictions and whatever other footy chat that we feel like as this goes on. But if you are liking these videos, and if you haven't already, make sure you do like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know who's going to be winning. It goes a long way to support Day.Sports and everything that we're doing. And if you'd like, jump on the social media as well. But again, really quickly, we'll jump into our round 3 bet recaps. Also,
just quickly on that, shout out to all the people in the comments on TikTok giving us fucking hell for our terrible tips for the last 2 weeks. Take a lick there, well deserved.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't maybe not so much you last week. Yeah, me last week. Dreadful yet again.
Yeah, but we'll get through all those.
We'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all good. All the teams that go bad bounce back and flog someone. So we're gonna smash it out for round 4. But round 3 bet recaps. Our bet to Vegas. Mine went down by Cobbo. Had Jesse Arthurs and Cobbo. Bang, that went out. And my multi of the week, it went down by Paddy Carrigan. I might have been a little bit wishful thinking there, trying to get that one. Grant Anderson went over very quickly, but yours as well, I believe, went down from a Cobbo as well, your bet to Vegas.
Yeah, I feel like I had Broncos line about... I can't remember what my bet is from last week, but I feel like I had Broncos 6.5 or something on the line. I'll have a
might have been the week before. I'll have a look for it. No, well, you had Ronaldo as well, actually, so that shot you in the foot.
So they all shit the bed. So, yeah, cool. Yeah. I thought I was a lock, honestly. I thought I was a lock, but yeah, no good. We'll reassess and see where we're at with the bet in Vegas.
Yeah, your multi of the week as well. You had Dom Young anytime. I don't think he got over. Ronaldo didn't get over. Cobbo didn't get over. It was just...
Had holes in it everywhere. Jesus, bad.
Not your best
red ticks everywhere. No green ticks.
Yeah, if they were giving out money for failed multis, then you'd be up and at them. But no, nothing there for you. And then quickly into round 3, we'll try to punt through this. That way we can get through to everything else we want to chat about. Thursday night, Storm beat Penrith 30-24. This was a hell of a game to watch if you caught this. If you didn't, you should go watch it because it came right down to the line. Considering Nathan Cleary tried to brutally assault Jerome Hughes flying through the air, resulting in both of them just about being sent off, Penrith did a hell of a job considering they didn't have the Prince pretty much the entire game.
Yeah. I think we said it from the get-go that this was going to be the game of the round. And, you know, as soon as I seen Nathan gone off, I thought they were fucking dead and buried. No Nathan, no Edwards. But, you know, they showed some ticker, and I thought the Storm definitely were a bit complacent after Nathan went off. But, yeah, fucking hell of a game.
Yeah, it was good. I'm a little bit scared of Penrith, though, considering Nathan went off. I think if he was out there, they probably win that one. But at the same time, yeah, maybe Storm did take the foot off the throat a little bit. But even then, like, they shouldn't be getting as close to that without Edwards, Cleary, things like that. So it's a little bit concerning. It's almost like, oh, Storm's pretty much the only team that might beat them. Big Nelly from Welly. My God, that boy, he takes people out in Bali, breaks Pap's ankle, breaks money, and then shatters Nick Meaney's face. He's on an all-time tear. That bloke is a liability out of the field. Anyone can get it.
Yeah, Nelson Human Wrecking Ball. Fucking seems to do more damage to himself and his teammates than the other team at times. But yeah, wouldn't want to be within a radius of him, that's for sure.
And I'm never going to say anything bad to his face because I reckon he could literally punch a hole through a brick wall. Not that he's a violent bloke, but I reckon he could if he wanted to.
Possibly one of the biggest humans I've ever stood next to on the dance floor at Old Soul. Gosh, he's a big bastard.
I reckon he can move too. Those hips probably move pretty well for a big boy.
Shakira.
Alrighty, next game. This one was just a real flip of the coin. I didn't like this with the 10-foot pole. Pretty much all my 50-50 tips went to shit, not going to lie. The Wars, they beat the Roosters 14-6. You can't tell who's good out of or bad out of these two. Like, it seemed like a fairly uneventful one. I was very much focusing on my schnitty and my beers while this game was on, so I can't say I got a whole lot of a viewing of it, but...
Yeah, it was definitely a coin flip. Like, this could have gone either which way, and I'm not going to be taking much out of it, really. Like, even with the Warriors, like, it was a tough, hard-fought game, both sides. Bit boring, but I won't be taking too much out of it because I think these two teams still got a long way to go to have a decent season.
Yeah, and it just makes it really hard for like this round coming up and rounds like whatever else, because you got no idea really where they're at. You've got Roosters bouncing back, obviously beating Penrith, and then losing to the Wars, and you're just like, are you good? Are you bad? Like, can we just get a bit of a vibe on this? The second game on Friday night, obviously Broncos, they beat the Cowboys 26-16. This was a fun time. I wish we got better seats for it, not gonna lie. Turns out I couldn't tell if I'd had a little bit too much to drink and I was starting to not be able to see, but I definitely wasn't that drunk. I think my eyes are starting to go.
Yeah, my eyes are fucked. But the rums definitely wouldn't have helped with that. But it was hot as balls where we were sitting. Like,
fuck, it was hot. We
usually sit in the similar spots for Origin and stuff, and it's never been, I wouldn't say that Origin's winter, but it's also never been like that. But holy fuck, it was hot. It was a bit of a funny old game, this one, to be honest. It definitely didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go.
Neither.
Cowboys did show up a little bit, and we were a little bit complacent, but yeah, I thought for sure we were going to put 30 plus easily on them. But a win's a win. I'll take him any day of the week.
We take those, and we know now that Payne Haas, well, we kind of already knew this, but that bloke is not human. Like, playing 71 minutes out in the middle, picking up a meat pie, looking like a centre skipping through untouched. Like, what is going on with that bloke? Like, I would be terrified to be the Dolphins.
I'd hate to be, like, any person with that man running at you, but what the fuck were the Cowboys doing?
I don't know.
There was about 4 or 5 dudes just standing watching, and I think about 3 fingers got put on him, and he went through virtually untouched. So I hope Toddy Payton gave him a big old spray for that one, because that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, a lot of grab arm. No one really wanted to get in front of him. And look, I can't blame him. Can't say that I'd be putting my hand up to try to tackle Major Payne when he's absolutely steaming forward. Another little a tidbit for the Broncos. So Reno, he's now the 3rd highest point scorer ever, which is unreal. He did quite a good game. So he's just behind Hazem Majley and, of course, Cam Smith. So massive for our little general getting it done. He was pretty good. Few try assists, did well. Kicking, Reno don't miss. We know that.
Reno don't miss.
Good. One thing that I was a little bit disappointed about is we didn't quite make it into the stadium for the kind of when they announce all the teams. I just wanted to hear the pop of Ben Hunt, but you miss out on stuff like that. Big talk. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of off it on the night. It wasn't until I kind of reflected a little bit the next day that I was pretty off a bit of what Reece Walsh was about on that night. On literally the night off, I was like, drop him. Which, and then I reflected on it.
First mistake, you look over to me, reserve grade.
Well, maybe not the first one, but by the time 4 or 5 had happened. But at the same time, we celebrate all the amazing stuff that he does. Defensively did quite well.
Yeah,
sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't. It is what it is. You only got one Reece Walsh. There's not many like him. So you want him kind of going out there and, of course we're going to be fucking frothing when those ridiculous plays come off. Maybe not frothing as much when he throws it into the floor or into the first row, but look, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Next one, Sharkies, they beat the Rabbitohs 27-12. This was just a standard nice little run for the Sharkies, I reckon. Thicky Trindle, he is the bro though. He is absolutely killing it at the moment.
My man, I've had players on Supercoach going down left, right, and centre, and Trindle's just stood up tall. And I wasn't on points. I wasn't tipped to win this week, but yeah, had Trindle absolutely stand up. Had another couple of guys absolutely stand up for me on Supercoach and put on some points. But yeah, I think it was just a run the park really for the Sharkies against the Rabbits. Didn't really break a sweat too much. So I think they're going to be serious contenders towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I really think so, and I think everyone's pretty much got them down to be locking in a top four spot. Like, there's really not going to be too many teams that are going to beat them on their best day. They're going to be a tough team that sticks around. Whether or not they're going to win the comp is another thing because they love to lose to Penrith or Storm or something. So we'll see how they go.
A bit of voodoo there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of something there that goes about them, but no, they did very well. Wayne Bennett moving Humphreys into, I think, lock in the second half really helped out my fantasy and Supercoach team. Actually, I don't know if I had in Supercoach, but my fantasy went wild. Next one is fucking disappointing because this was another that I had down as a little bit of a 50-50. Tigers beat the Finns 30-18. Fins are banned. Fins down. I'm never touching the fucking Dolphins again. Honestly, I was so off it. They had the lead and just shit the bed.
What? They didn't score a point in the second half. That's right. It was 18. What was it? 18-6 or 18-10?
I think it was 18-10. I'd like to say it half because Tigers, I think, scored just before half too, which is just another coach killer. But
here's me. Like while I was watching this game, going, "Oh, thank fuck for this!" Like Dolphins are going to get the job done for me here after we've copped a bit of a blast from a few people for tipping the Dolphins, and they absolutely just seized up. Not enough lubricant. Shut the bed.
Yeah, like particularly, I really thought at home, like that crowd was just a sea of red. Finns fans everywhere. I thought if there's going to be a time they're going to stand up and get it done, it's going to be here. And I thought they were playing at Suncorp until just before the game. And I was like, oh, it's literally also at KO Stadium there in Redcliffe. I was like, they are winning this, surely. I think I might have even texted my girlfriend because I was like, oh, who'd you tip? She's like, oh, Tigers. And I was like, unlucky. And
unlucky, bro.
I swear that's like the kiss of death that, like, whenever I check with her who she tips, it just falls apart. But yeah, it wasn't great. But also, in saying that, yes, we've been copping a bit of slack from the Tigers fans. We'll take our licks. That is A-okay. But you need to calm the fuck down. You've beaten the square root of fucking nobody. Who have you beaten? You've beaten the Eels and you've beaten the Dolphins. Both of them have
got a bit of carry on.
Yeah, a bit of carry on.
I think I said on the potty last week, I was nearly going to, I think you probably nearly talked me into backing the Dolphins after you got, the Tigers have beat nobody, bro. But also listening to, at work, we have Triple M a lot of the time, being at Chippy, listening to the radio all day. Anthony Maroon on Thursday was talking and he went the same way. He went to Dolphins. He goes, I haven't seen enough of the Tigers yet. If they lose this week, then so if they beat Dolphins this week, then so be it. I'll fucking take my losing tip, but I want to see one more performance out of them before I start sort of backing them.
Yeah, no, and it's going to be one of those things like if they beat a legitimate team, which they'll be coming up against very soon when they play the Broncos, I think that's going to be a very, very good show of where they're actually at. I think I was speaking about this, I think towards the end of last season or even the start of this season was kind of my prediction that if the Tigers managed to string a few together, like they would be the new bandwagon team for the year. Like we had the Wars, we had the Doggies last year. Yeah, they're definitely going to be, which is great. Like Tiger fans have had fucking nothing to cheer about for the better part of probably 2 decades.
The most resilient fans in the world go be Tigers fans. Jesus Christ.
I cannot knock them. They got a little bit of that John Cena hustle, loyalty, respect about them.
20 years this year since they won a premiership. So the Broncos aren't far behind.
No, they're not. But
19, we've had a little bit more success than those fellas. I don't even know the last time they made the 8. It would have been around the 2010
whenever
period,
whenever
2011
whenever Brooksy was doing some stuff, I guess. But next game, this one was a major letdown for me again. I gave this the old flip of the coin. Titans, they flogged the Knights 26-6. What a dismal performance from the Knights. You want to talk about super coach dramas? Fucking here's me. Yeah, you know what's going to be great this week?
Little Kalen's going to put 200 on him.
Little Kalen Ponga and captain. He's going to put on 200 points. He's going to just rack up Daly M points and all this. I think he scored about... He was into the negatives, I dare say, at the end of the first half. I think he ended up with like 48 or something like that. He might have got a try assist or something towards the end. But when you have
Gosh, it was a letdown, wasn't it? After they, even though they played the Dolphins the week before, they looked fucking pretty clinical, to be honest. Like KP looked hot. So I was like, if he half fires, they should shit in over this Titans team, I reckon. Because the Titans I always felt they take a long time to get going. They've always been a team that have been very slow starters, hot finishers, I reckon. But But yeah, fuck, that was disappointing.
Yeah, it was a bit rough. Mayor Tino, he turned up big time though. But yeah,
Scored me
Titans.
some points.
Just you can never really figure out what the fuck you're going to get from them. Like 1 week they'll blow a team out of the park, the next week, and it was just one of those weeks, and they flogged the Knights. Next game, this is just old reliable if you ask me, but the Doggies, they beat the Eels 16-8. A few personnel out for the Doggies, so they still did relatively well, managed to put it on them. Eels scored points, I guess. That's a positive for them. Sexy Sexton.
They should have won that game, I reckon.
Probably.
I didn't watch it, but fuck, I was listening to it, and the Doggies just tried everything that they had in their purse from round one to throw that game away. And but the Eels, they just can't get it done. Like shout out to Zach Lomax though. Dude ran for over 300 meters. I think he had 31 runs over 300 meters. That's fucking wild. And shout out to what you're going to say.
Yeah,
Toby Sexton.
Yeah, I was going to say Sexy Sexton. He didn't score for me, but far out. Boy likes to kick a ball. Kicked the most ever meters in an NRL game, kicking 1,027 meters. That's just ridiculous. In what world did Toby Sexton decide to wake up and just go, yeah, I'm going to belt the leather this week? Like,
where did that come from? Skin off this ball.
Yeah, fuck. We're not playing the best, but I can kick a bloody ball good.
He's never going to end up being, like a great half of all time, Toby Sexton, but he's definitely starting to roll into and get more comfortable in his game. And sort of, I think he's definitely going to be able to lock down that 7 jersey at Canterbury for a while, unless they sign another big half or something like that. But yeah, he's definitely starting to become a more reliable not go-to, but more reliable half. For that Doggies outfit.
He's pretty handy. This game, did I get this one wrong? I went out for dinner again with the missus and the family. Kind of usual sort of operation. Manly destroyed the
family
milk.
Man.
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching it. Like I already kind of turned it off by then, actually. But Manly destroyed the milk 40-12. Like I said, got this one extraordinarily wrong. I backed the milk. I'm pretty sure Sticky would have had an implosion somewhere at Four Pawns Park, as I'd say. But that was a massacre. And I should have known better about this, but I'm not going to say what I was thinking about. But yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of this because the first 25 minutes was plenty enough for me.
Yeah,
gosh, it was tough watching after the milk put on a performance against our Broncos the week before. They dished up absolute rubbish against Manly and got it served to them big time. But yeah, I'm not going to touch much of this. Manly were fucking hot on the night. Canberra were not.
No. Now, speaking of Supercoach saviours, after all, I had many, many dismal performances, Luke Metcalf included, a few others that I just, didn't perform quite the way I'd like them to. Yeah, a bit hot and cold, old Lukey, but pretty much was summed up that game by Corey Horsburgh while he's... Well, Corey Horsburgh's in the bloody sin bin just doing these ones, watching it. But
I was waiting for these to come out while he was walking off the field.
Thought he was going to cry.
Loves the one finger salute.
Oh, does he what? But Ruben Garrick saved everything for me. I'm pretty sure he racked up something like 160 points. So I was like, thank you, Ruben.
Doing God's work with 4 tries and a few conversions.
Yeah, Dilf Garrick coming through and getting things done for me. I think it was also on the Sunday night, I started seeing videos and news reports coming out of a little bit of a bust up at the Sharks Rabbitohs game. And when you have a look at it, it was unusual suspects, actually. It did involve
Reggie the Rabbit flag.
Reggie himself up against a Cronulla child. Bit of an interesting one there. So video doesn't exactly look the best ever for old Reggie. Pretty much walks up to him. Not too sure what the kid has tried to do. Reggie's pretty much come out with a statement going, okay, I did the wrong thing, but pretty much gives him the biggest GI, don't argue, palm to the chest that I've ever seen. This kid's gone flying off old Reg. He's got a bit of a track record for it as well. We've seen in years past him brutally attack Reno while he's been walking off the field as well. So there's a little bit of get up and go on, Reg.
Yeah, Reggie for an 80-year-old moves. Nah, I think there's probably a little bit more to it. But if this was a 18-year-old who, because from all reports it sounds like the kid grabbed him or something like that when he went over to give him a high five and he's pushing him away. But regardless, like shouldn't have done it to a 9-year-old. But if it was like an 18-year-old who had done it, no one would even like batted an eye. But for that mum to come out and say he was asking for a high five, fuck off.
Yeah, might have had a little bit of GST added to that.
There's a bit of mayo on top of that.
And supposedly, like, going to the police and all this, but it's just like, yeah, regardless of what the kid did, unfortunately, in Reggie's case, you just can't be giving him GI palms regardless. Like, it's a kid. Just that poor boy is probably going to be scarred for life now, having PTSD dreams of a rabbit, but
he's going to be
one of those things.
That little kid's going to be starting. He's going to be starting a wave. Absolute petition to get the Rabbitohs kicked out of the comp again.
Yeah, it's not good. Given. But yeah, and then Reggie's come out, he's done like an apology and all that. And obviously taken on the chin, but yeah, just a bit of a weird situation. Wasn't expecting that on my Sunday night, but I'd love to see like a mascot Royal Rumble type of thing, because I've been trying to rattle today who would come out on top. We've seen that Reggie's got a bit of get up and go.
All seriousness, out of there you go, NRL. That's a money making opportunity. Get the WW ring out there.
Car park.
Yeah.
Tell me
in the car park. Who would win? Honestly, who do you reckon out of all the teams?
I think I'd have to run my eye over all the mascots. Depends if we're bringing in Buck the horse, a literal living, breathing horse, to do some damage. Because I doubt
that's going to be happening. RSPCA is going to be on the blower instantly.
Shut that down.
Buck's in there with a jockey on the back, fucking in the ring.
Billy Slater's on the back.
What mascot could get it done? I reckon the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys have got a bit of that farm strength in them.
They would be good for it. The Penny Panthers, their Panther might have a go.
Bite someone's face off.
Imagine that. It's Magic Round. Caxton Car Park is absolutely chockers. They had a wrestling event there not too long. You got the boys from Bloody Brilliant Beers and Darts and Class on the commentary.
Alex Glenn and
Alex Glenn was
Daniel
on there.
Vito.
Yeah.
Can't say I know what Daniel Vito's wrestling name is, but yeah.
Jackson Car Park, Magic Round, mascot Royal Rumble. We want to see it. That would be fucking elite. Alrighty. Now, this is the news that every man, their dog's dog is going to be talking about. And of course, it is what blindsided pretty much the entire rugby league community last night, with a certain long neck Queensland captain DCE coming out, Manly legend, saying that he's going to be leaving Manly. And this, I was watching a movie with the missus last night, and I couldn't stop looking at my phone because it just kept like unfolding as the hours went on. What did you think when you first saw that?
I was waiting to see. I think I seen a post about it, and then the post that was straight under that when I was like scrolling on Instagram was Tom Birmingham from Hello Sport, have an absolute fucking meltdown about DCE leaving. He went through that was probably my greatest thing to ever see last night, the full range of emotions that he went through from DCE's leaving to Manly's offered him a 2-year contract on NRL 360 to DCE being on whatever the Channel 9
the
NRL show is.
NL 360 or whatever it is, or...
Nah, it's not 360. It's on Channel 9. Anyway,
whatever the hell it is.
Whatever it is, to DCE then going, no, I'll be declining Manly's offer. I'll be leaving at the end of the year. That was a fucking pisser. But yeah, honestly, there's obviously like way more to this situation that he's obviously got a bit of a grime about how long this has obviously been going on for. Like he said before Christmas, that them only going to offer him a 1-year contract, and for them to now come to the party now and go, oh, we'll give you 2 years now. You've said that you leave, and it's a bit shitty. But DC is known for a backflip.
Look,
I don't think the Titans are even going to put their hat in the ring to get his signature here. too much scar tissue from years gone past.
Yeah, no, I can't see them being front runners after DC doing one of the greatest flips of all time on them.
Still one of the greatest Harry Holt's on them all time.
but no, I saw some there's been whispers of it, and like you said, there seems like there's a lot more for it. Pretty poor form though from Manly, kind of not lining up your probably greatest player to ever play for the club with some sort of contract, considering how he's playing. So they've ended up with the Reynolds fuck around find out effect, where they've just gone, nah, see you later. I don't care what you're giving me. I'm out of here. And I don't think he's going to be backflipping on this one, to be completely honest. So yeah. Which
is shit. I would have like, what's he won there? I think he's won 2 comps. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 2 comps at Manly. What's that? 11 and I want to say 13 and 14. No,
No.
2011 and 14, I'm going to say. Bit of deal on that. But yeah, like he's won a couple of comps with Manly, fucking Origin legend, Australian legend. You thought they would have tried to lock him up. Obviously, I think money could be a big part of this, rolling into retirement. But yeah, you thought they would have tried to show him a bit of respect and lock him up for, it's 2 years of a contract. And he hasn't really been injury prone. Dude's still playing as good as he did fucking in his 20s. So yeah, I think it's a bit shit on Manly's behalf, but is what it is.
Yeah, like it's not like he's some old boy that's like on his absolute last legs, getting injured left, right, and center. Like this is a bloke that's still playing very, very good footy. So yeah, a bit of a rough one there. Of course, all the questions are going to be where the hell is the neck going to be going now? But I just can't help to think, and just coming back to the whole Hello Sport thing, I saw they put out their emergency podcast today, and they're there in the bounced out trackies, and they're just smacking a dart. I can imagine that would pretty much be felt across the entire Manly fan base at the moment. Like, what do you do when you're just Monday night trying to start the week off right and your captain's gone, respectfully, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Bit of a rough one, but I can't help to think that this might be a little bit of a flow on from the Manly curse that Tom and Eddie might have incited there over at Hello Sport.
You shut down the P's and D's, this is what you get.
Yeah, it turns out DCE had a fake account on P's and D's, loved it, and you've taken that away from him. So he's like, well, in that case, pull the pin on you boys. What can I do about it?
Later, Bo. Out of here.
Yeah, of course, front runners essentially for every single player that comes off contract or may potentially come off contract.
Broncos. Dragons.
Sign him. Yeah, definitely Dragons. Roosters 100% though. Like a lot of people think that's where he's going to go. If you like money, DCE, come speak to Nick, bro. That's probably one place. I think also it might just be Roosters trying to collect all the halfbacks in the comp so no one else can have them, because it'd be wild if they had him and Chad there at the same time. Maybe they do a straight swap.
Pretty sure Chad's only on a 1 year contract. I'm pretty certain of that. But
so you're telling me Chad's going to Manly?
Telling you Chad's going to Super League.
Poor Chad.
That's where we're at.
But where's he going?
Fucks me where he's going to end up, to be honest. Yeah. It could be whoever's going to offer him the most money, could be chance to relocate back to Queensland. And he could end up, in Brizzy or something like that. The Dolphins or the Titans. Or the Broncos? Are you? DCE? Fucks me. Don't have a clue. Wait and see.
No, we're not going to know. Like I've seen him kind of speak about it. Just wanted to focus on footy. There was a panel there. I think it had Cam Smith. It had Gus on it as well. And I swear Cam Smith was just zoned out of the conversation for 90% of it. Like he was right at the end and just.
That's the Channel 9 one I'm talking about. I think it's all about footy or 100% footy or some shit.
I think it's 100% footy. Yeah, we should probably know what it is, but I guess we'll find out. It's all just going to be speculation. I almost really can't be bothered getting super deep into where he's going to end up. Like I reckon return to Queensland. I reckon Dolphins, because they got all the money in the world, could do with him. But does he want to win more? It's just going to be one of those things. But I'd love to see him continue playing for Queensland. That's the main thing. And who knows? He might have just wall pulled absolutely everyone, drummed up a big thing, and I'm actually retiring at the end of the season. So we're not really going to know. But yeah, DC leaving Manly 100%, and that, well, unless he does the old backflip. But yeah, that's where we're at. Alrighty, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about this for many weeks, probably for the whole year. DC has just got journos fired up. Buzz is absolutely creaming himself that he's got articles to write for the entire year.
Can't wait for Buzz and Danny Wilder to just fucking start teeing off rumours about this. I've got an inside scoop. There's a red Brisbane team who's offering DCE this much per... Shut up, Buzz.
Yeah, actually, before we
just give us the news when he signs.
Yeah, before we move on actually from DC, just to kind of change things up a little bit, because again, we could go around and around and around, but who do you think is the most unlikely team to sign him? Who would be the most rogue team out of all of them if they decided to sign him?
Melbourne Storm.
Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, fucking
Nathan Cleary
anyone
goes
of those
down.
two. you got. I would honestly say Penrith, not Penrith, Melbourne over Penrith. Like Melbourne's got, Hughesy, Munster there. They got Wishart on the bench, and they always seem to have the biggest bank of fucking number 14 worthy like players getting around. Yeah, I think you could probably cross those two out pretty quickly.
I saw somebody today, it might have been on one of the Broncos fan pages. They're just like, oh, can you imagine? We have DCE at 6, Reno at 7, Dozer at 9, Ezra at 14. I was like, where are we getting
the oldest spine in the world?
Yeah, a spine's combined age of over 1,000 years.
Maybe Madge knows what's going on. Just give me all the oldest cunts that we can find, and that wins you premierships.
We need that 100,000 from the preseason challenge now.
Broncos rolling out starting 17 for the first 2 rounds of the preseason challenge next year.
Madge is going to be taking DC straight to a Fallon's for a little wine and dine session down by the river under the bridge. But, all right, enough of it.
Yeah, enough dribble. Let's get into footy.
All right, yeah. So round 4. So we're hoping to do a lot better than last week. Wasn't our best work. Thursday night, I believe this would be, we got Rabbitohs versus Panthers. Now, Panthers, they're a little bit wounded right now. No Cleary, no Edwards. That, Dom, is when animals are at their most dangerous, when they're wounded, and I think that is going to be the same for the Riff. I think people are going to think the Rabbitohs are in for a sniff here, but I just don't think that is going to be the case at all.
Oh, fuck. No. It made me spit everywhere. I was like, mate, you've been sniffing glue or something. Fucking high on life.
No.
Yeah, I'm going, Jesus, surely you're not about to declare Rabbitohs as a winner in this game.
No. I'm saying the animal that is going to be most dangerous is going to be Panthers in this one. So that's where we're going.
That was the most Team fucking David Attenborough thing I've ever seen. Anywho, Penrith fucking without Edwards, without Cleary. And it showed last week, like, I thought they were dead and buried for sure against the Storm. But, a system that's been that great for so many years, they just decided to turn up and they turn up. I think across the park, they've got it over the Rabbits. So, yeah, I think I'll be running with the Penrith 1-12 here.
Yeah, I'm going to be going Panthers 1-12. They just have that plug and play system down there at the Riff where, someone drops off, bang, here's a play you've never heard of before, and they're absolutely elite. Laurie's... Nice. I might even leave that in, but Laurie, who I'm actually quite a big fan of, even liked his work there at the Tigers, going into fullback. Jenkins, I think, moves into centre. He played exceptionally well last week, actually. Trent Tulau, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Never heard of you. Wouldn't know what you look like. Probably a gun, knowing that, again, is just from that Penrith system. I think he might have played one of the preseason challenge games, and people were like, who the hell is this guy? He's a weapon. But I reckon they're going to have the goods over the Rabbitohs for sure. Bit of a goat-on-goat coach battle in this, though, with old Wayne coming up against Ivan. But Rabbitohs, they got Alex Johnson coming back in, so it is nice to see him come back. What did he do? It was like an Achilles or something. So nice to see him coming back in.
Yeah, I can't remember what he had done. Yeah, it must have been Achilles. But do you reckon Ravalawa would have got the biggest bacon from Bennett when he was defending on the dead ball line? Where the fuck was he going? That was going to be one of the all-time clangers.
Not his best work. But I reckon, without Nathan, they nearly beat the Storm. So I think Penrith will be A-OK in this one.
No-brainer, yeah.
And I'm going to go with Paul Alamotti to score anytime he's on the wing. So Paul just doesn't stop.
That's my anytime. Bro, he scored the first 3 weeks, and geez, he racked up. What did he score? A hat-trick last week. Fuck, he racked up some points for me on Supercoach.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't say it, won't stop. Tell you what, though, that boy needs some kicking lessons. Jesus Christ. Ivan, get him down the park with the kicking tee. Anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't his best work. That gets into the first Friday game. We got the Roosters versus the Titans. I hate this game. I don't know who to tip.
I hate this so
I don't want
much.
to tip it at all. I think, again, it's another one of a 50-50. And again, mine last week went to shit. No clue what version of these teams are turning up. Are we getting the Roosters that beat Penrith? Are we getting the Titans that beat the Knights? What are we going to get? I have no idea. All I know is they both have big boppers going at each other in the forward pack. There's some big boys getting around.
I hate this game so much. I don't want to touch it.
Nah, void.
I've been deliberating for the past, I reckon, 40 minutes or however long we've been talking, and before that, who I'm going to tip in this game. At the moment, I'm not going to declare anyone at the moment. At the moment, I'm honestly leaning towards the Titans more.
Ooh.
In the fact that I think they're very much a confidence-based team, and I think that good win that they had at home will help them a lot, but I also know how bad that they can be on the road as well. So Roosters coming off a tight loss against the Warriors. I'm like, fuck, could they bounce back at home? But I think I'm going to tip the Titans, honestly.
Brave. No Keeney as well.
Is he out, is he?
Yeah, DeGroot, fullback.
Oh, fuck.
Little spanner in the works there. And yeah, like you said, Gold Coast don't really like to play rugby league.
Right,
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast hate playing away. Give me the Roosters 112.
Sorted.
He killed me with Keanu Kinney being out.
Chad masterclass incoming. Roosters at home. I'm going to go with Mark Nwanga Itawase to score anytime as well.
I've never put him down as any time because I can't pronounce his last name on this show. I'm going to be jumping on Dom Young again, cross any time. I think he can and will.
Yeah, pretty safe hands. Last one for the Friday. I kind of wish I got tickets to this one. It's so hard to get tickets. They seem to be sold out for ages. But Dolphins allegedly home game against the Broncos. I see this being an absolute bloodbath. Fins down 0-3. I had faith in them last week, like I said, and they absolutely shit the bed. I am not backing them again this season until they show me something because it is just not great. Payne Haas is going to dominate the fuck out of them, and that's about all I know.
All I know is Broncos should, and providing Reece doesn't have a shocker like he did in Canberra, win this game. Yeah, not much to it, really. Dolphins have been pretty horrific for the first 3 rounds, and, I think we're probably a couple of rounds, 3 or 4 rounds, maybe off hitting our straps. But I think we've got plenty enough in the tank. Fucking hell. To get the win. So, yeah, Bronx 13 plus, someone anytime.
Yeah, I'm going to be going Stags anytime because I love that he's coming back. Old Shibasaki's kept his spot in the team with Dean Mariner coming out, which I don't hate at all.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. He's been solid the first few games, so yeah, definitely can't knock that at all. I think Mariner is going to be in and around there, float back in or out plenty of times in the season, depending on injuries. I just hope we don't lose him to a rival club. So
I don't think we'll lose him. Like, he's so young. He's signed on, so I think we're going to be all there. Stags, he's going to be leaving palm prints in people's chest. I reckon massive big don't argues. This is my house kind of vibes from Stags.
Yeah, I was going to say, he loves to show up in these Brisbane derbies, so I think he's in for a fucking huge one.
I'll be shattered if this doesn't go our way. My only thing that I would say is don't run anywhere near Ray Stone. That bloke is fucking terrifying. Like, he was smashing people in that Tigers game. I'm like, that is not nice. All right, next one, Dragons versus the Storm. This would be upset of the round if the Storm somehow managed to lose this, but this is your punishment, Flano, for losing against the Rabbitohs the other week. So cop your licks. No Hughes, he's out with a broken hand, but that's all good because plug and play king for the Storm. Oh, Wishy, he's into the 7. So yeah, I think this will be an easy one. Well, yeah, pretty easy one for the Storm, I reckon.
Hughes is out, but I think Melbourne could still... I reckon I could still put him down minus 44 points on the line. I think Melbourne win by as many as they want and comfortably. I'm going to go with Xavier Coates. Cross anytime. I'll back him again. Oh, actually, I think I'm going to do tips and predictions. And same thing with the Broncos game. I think I actually got Katoni Staggs written down, but I'll be going with Pappenhausen because I think that dude is just going to tear them open. Yeah,
I've got Paps anytime as well. I reckon Wishy's a good chance. He'll probably show and go.
Wishy will show some candy for sure.
He can't help himself. Like, I reckon he's worse than Munster with it. He just loves a little show and go. I think for the Dragons, if Tuapolotu scores and does the money celebration, we know that's the kiss of death. It's all but over then. Every single time he's done it, they've gone on to lose. And God, I hope he does it. I'd just love to see Flano just tweaking out in the box.
What was I listening? I can't remember. It was Levels. Yeah, I was listening to Levels the other day. And they were saying, and Scott was saying how that Flano's told him he's banned him from doing it pretty much. Willie's like, yeah, good, we put that to bed.
Yeah, probably best. Alrighty, heading all the way up North Queensland, we got the Cows versus the Milk. This is another one that I just don't like a whole lot. We got a desperate Cowboys, 0-3, just begging for a win. And then you've got a revved up, I'm assuming, Milk that got absolutely flogged by Manly on Sunday. Big captain Joey Tarpanay, he's coming back in. So surely the Milk are going to be fucking huge through the middle. They got Josh Papali'i, Tarpanay, and Big Red in there.
Yeah.
Surely.
I'm just going to go... Cows looked actually a hell of a lot better with Jake Clifford in 7
for sure.
than previous weeks. But yeah, I wish the Canberra Raiders had just shown a little bit more ticker last week against Manly. I'm still going to back them because I still think they're going to be able to get the job done 1-12, but I'm not fucking confident at all.
Yeah, I don't like this. Like, I am so close to flipping. Like, I was very close to picking the Cowboys. Like, they got to win eventually, right? And they've got a pretty good track record over Canberra, particularly up there in North Queensland. But what kind of got me over the edge was how badly the Raiders got flogged by Manly. I reckon that they are going to be fucking revving to get one back and turning up huge. I'm going them 1-12 and Big Red.
Big Red. I got
cross.
Xavier Savage anytime. Yeah, I'd love to see a Big Red try. Fucking
yeah, I'm jumping on that. All right, third last one. Man, we're taking a while for these. Sharks versus Bulldogs. Sharkies, they're playing an undefeated Doggies team. They're looking pretty good, like we said. Gave them massive raps before. They're going to be up there 100%. Thicky Trindle, he's on fire. Dogs without Burton, a little bit clunky compared to usual. I reckon this is going to be a really tight one. Both of these teams very good defensively, so I think it's going to be low scoring. I reckon it's going to be hard to get through either of them.
Yeah, I think the Sharkies is just a class above, especially no Burden, no kick out against that Eels lineup from last week, which they definitely could have fucking lost. That's for sure. Yeah, I think the Sharks get this done comfortably, 13+, I reckon.
I'm going to go 1-12 and Kale Ero as well. I'm going to go him anytime. He's been a bloody handful scoring tries left, right, and centre. Who you got?
I'm trying to see. Let's give a second. Can't remember who I did have down in this. Oh, yeah, that's right. I had a little Smoky to cross over in this one.
Tommy Hazelton.
If anyone can actually hear that. Well, he is off the bench. It is Talakai. I think Talakai is going to cross anytime. This human wrecking ball, I think he's going to wind up cross anytime.
Get over. Alrighty. Manly versus the Eels. I am very interested to see what the reception DCE is going to get running out there after this news is broken, after he's shattered the hearts of 1 million Manly. Actually, they don't have 1 million fans. 50,000 Manly fans, or however many they might have. Eels are having a shocking time. This is going to be the biggest uphill battle of all time. And Manly, they had a huge bounce back, thrashing the fuck out of the Milk. So I think they're going to continue with this work, and I just don't see a world where Eels are going to be pulling an upset over a team that's got big turbo coming back.
Yeah. This is going to be an absolute demolition job, I reckon. 13+ easily, and turbo, which I'm assuming he's still going to be a bit ginger, but I think he'll cross anytime. He'll find a hole somewhere against this Eels lineup. That's for sure.
He'll find a way. I'm also going 13+. I'm going with Daly Cherry-Evans anytime, though. It's going to prove the haters wrong. He's going over.
He might score and get some Dylan Brown boos.
Yeah, him and Dilf Garrick are going to be crossing. I might chuck them both on. And then last game for the round, the Tigers versus the Waz. Like we said, Tigers fans are coming out of the woodwork left, right and centre. Like I said, you need to woo up. You haven't beaten anyone yet, but it is nice to see them get some wins. I don't like this game at all, but I reckon at home Tigers are going to get it done.
Yeah, I'd definitely be more skeptical about this if this was a Warriors home game. Even though, it's been well noted, Auckland's not a fortress for the Warriors. Because I think they won, I heard the other day, I think they've won only 5 games. They only won 5 games their might have been last 2 years or something like that.
Wasn't great.
Or last year. Might have been last year.
Would have been last year. 23 was good.
Yeah, 23 was good. Yeah, I think it was last year. They won 5 games there or something like that. Tigers at home, I think I've seen enough from them last week and enough backbone to be able to get the job done against the Waz, who are probably going to be in and around the same sort of position as them on the ladder. Go to Tiggies, 1-12, and I'll go to Ruva anytime.
Yeah, I've got a 1-12. I've got Taruva anytime as well. And I've got a little proposition for the Tigers fans. As many of them do know, particularly over on TikTok, I've been hitting them with the 3-time wooden spooners each and every week. Now, if they win this game, so 3 games in a row, I will drop that little moniker for them. I will let it go. So, see how they go. But God knows what Waz.
Shout out to the one bloke in the comments who I can't think of your username, who is always up Chris about dropping the 3-time wooden spoon. So yeah, that's fair play. Hopefully you might come and listen to us again if he shuts up about it.
And Terrell May, I reckon he's just going to put on another ridiculous performance for my super coach as well, which would be great. But yeah, Tigers. All right. That gets us to our bet for Vegas. Again, we're pretty much having to start from scratch because we had a shocker last week and the week before, went out bang, bang. So we're trying to turn $5, do that a few times over and get all the way over to Vegas for 2026. My bet is just one try scorer, a nice little one. He's coming back into a fiery Broncos side. I'm backing big Tony Staggs to get around him. It'd be rude not to. I jumped on him on a blue betting agency.
Is he $2?
$2.08.
Rubbish.
208. Thank you very much. Tell me that he's not leaving handprints and people.
That man actually loves to score tries. Blow that out of the water. He's at 215 now. Are we jumping on? Yeah.
Oh, he's gone up.
He's going up. He's going out. I wonder who he's going to be. I dare say he'll be matched up against Herbie. Actually.
Won't matter. Enjoy this palm print, Herbs. He's going to be wanting to come back to the Broncos.
Yeah, I dare surely they'll match up Tony Staggs against Herbie. Fuck it. I'm going to stick to my guns. Bugger. Wish I'd known that. Because I got a 3-legger bet to Vegas. We got the Broncos head-to-head. I got Selwyn Cobbo anytime, backing him to jump back on his try-scoring efforts. And I've got Cronulla head-to-head. That is $2.28.
I like that. A lot more to happen, though. I've just got a nice
There's a lot more to happen than just a nice Stags try scorer. Yuck. Anyway,
we take
I'm still going to back myself, and I'll be jumping on it.
And then multi of the week. I'm chasing some big boys. This is a big boy multi. 2 try scorers. I've got my major pain to cross over again. I reckon he's going to just rip through the Dolphins, give them hell. And Ethan Bullymore for the Manly Seagulls. He's been scoring a couple meat pies recently. 2 of those together, a little wham-bam combination right there. $30.44 on a blue betting agency. I'll lick that up. Thank you very much.
I have got... All right, my multi of the week. We're going to be running with the Melbourne Storm multi here because I think they are going to absolutely blow the Dragons out of the water. There's a few legs here, few operating parts here, Chris. We have a Melbourne head-to-head, Melbourne 13+. Xavier Coates anytime, Ryan Papenhuyzen anytime, the Brick, Will Warbrick anytime, Melbourne race to 10 points, Melbourne race to 20 points, Melbourne Storm team to win both halves of footy.
What do we got?
That will be $9.75.
Oh, I was like, that better be at least $14. You got that many legs, you bloody spider.
I think that should, honestly think that should run in.
Is that a lock, is it?
I'm not going to say it's a lock, but could be a goer.
Could be a goer.
Anyway, do not back me. Do not follow that tip if you don't want to. There's a bit happening.
Mine's big, brave, and strong, so you should definitely get behind that, especially with how Payne Haas is going. But through to our last little bit of the episode this week, if this player was a beer, I've got a doozy for you. If this player was a beer, Daly Cherry-Evans.
DCE. I already know what you're trying to fish here for. You're trying to fish for a long neck. DCE. I feel like he's reached that point in his life that he's just like he's starting to turn into an old man, a nice old gentleman. When I was growing up, I reckon all the ritzy sort of gentlemen, they would used to drink like Crown Lager, and I can tell you it tastes like cat's piss. But I'll be saying DCE is a nice little, because they've got a big, long, skinny neck on them as well. They're not like not short, fat body. They're just skinny. So I'll be jumping on DCE as a Crown Lager.
Crown Lager, long neck crown.
I don't know if they do long neck crowns, but
if they do,
surely you know what a Crown Lager looks like. It's just like a fucking.
I know what a Crown Lager looks like.
Skinny.
Yeah.
I'm going to search. I don't know if they have Crown Lager long.
I don't think they do. That would be very ritzy.
So. No, it's not bougie.
Not bougie.
But yeah, I'd say DCE is a Crown Lager.
Well, For DCE, I would say that he's a 4 points Japanese lager, but he seems to be wanting to get very far away from Manly and everything associated with them. So I will have to go with the long neck sort of beer for DCE for obvious reasons. Something about him is just classic, true, not too complicated, just everyone in Queensland loves him. He's got to be a long neck of a gold for sure. 4X gold, give me a long neck of that for DCE. Proper and true Queenslander. Yeah.
I reckon he's just like that cut above. So if they had that, whatever the new Great Northern beer is that they got out, the long one.
Yeah.
Is like the bougie Great Northern. I reckon that could be a DCE.
Either way, he's a long neck. He's got to be. But that pretty much brings us to the end of this episode. Again, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for listening. Let us know in the comments who is going to be winning this game. Let us know your bets. Let us know about everything else. Give a follow on the socials, like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz goes very, very far. But yeah, that's pretty much it for us. Catch you all next week.
Thanks again, guys. See you later.
Laters.